Hey folks, Vic here with your weekly trade video for Friday, February the 27th. That's pretty much it for the month of February. So for this week's video, I'm going to go over the approach that our lead coach Darko takes in coming up with a high odds swing trading opportunity. This is the exact approach that he uses for our trade alert service. So what he does is, you'll see it's a yearly chart up here, and everything starts by getting a higher time frame bias. And Darko will first start off with a yearly chart. And before you roll your eyes up at that, I got to tell you, the yearly chart is a very powerful way to assess a pair. In my past trading, I never used it, but I'm a believer now after watching the way that Darko integrates it into his analysis for many years now. And he marks off significant levels on the yearly chart. Okay, so it's a more, like I say, it's a more powerful chart than most traders realize. So then after an observation of the yearly chart, he then drops down to a monthly chart. And as with all time frames, the question that we ask ourselves is this, and this is a really important question: who is in control? Are the bulls in control, or are the bears in control? Okay, what is the price structure doing? And that's exactly what he teaches. And what are the significant levels in play? So very simply, once a monthly candle is closed, he'll mark off the opening and closing prices of that monthly candle. Right? Those are known points, and we can then compare those to the other time frames, and we can start to build a bias. Okay? And all of this needs to be obvious and clear. Right? So next, after the monthly, drop down to the weekly. And for like the weekly chart is what we use for coming up with a swing trade. It uses a swing trade uses a 4-hour chart for our entry time frame. We are very interested in what the weekly chart is doing. How do the levels on the weekly chart look compared to the yearly and monthly? Where are we at? Who is in control on the weekly? That's like this part here, who's in control, super important. So figure that out. It's the same process over and over for each time frame. And again, the weekly after the weekly candle is closed, we're interested in the opening and closing prices of that week. I got to tell you something. These opening and closing prices give us a range to observe. And this basic approach has been a big winner for Darko and our members. And as you know, our CC, our Coach's Corner, is an alert service. So all of these trades that set up are pointed out to our members well in advance. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to play a clip out of one of Darko's pre-market analysis videos. And you'll see this process in action. It's actually very repeatable. It's a robotic approach, but of course, everything needs to be put into context. Context is really important, and that's how a trading opportunity comes up. And the analysis, the pair we're going to analyze here is the CAD Swissy, the one that Darko goes over. And the CAD Swissy pair ended up unfolding exactly the way that Darko had envisioned it. So if you have a look at your charts, you'll see what happened. The trade ended up being a reduced win. It didn't go as far as he had hoped, but that's what price was telling us. And the reason it was a reduced win is thanks to impeccable trade management, which Darko also covers in the alert service. And lets everybody know exactly how he's managing the trade. So let's get going here. Here's Darko analyzing the CAD Swissy pair, and this was in his February the 9th, 2026 PMA for our members.
CAD Swissy, my bias is bearish. Yearly, monthly is strongly down. Previous monthly candle is bearish. Okay. The weekly chart has a hiccup to the upside, did some structure damage. But now we are in alignment with the remaining time frames, which is the yearly and monthly, because this low is lower than this low. Okay. The previous weekly candle action is bearish, a weaker version due to the color. I'm marking the closing price of the previous candle. It doesn't matter if I mark this candle closing or this candle closing. This one is better because this one needs to be breached. So let's just say, for instance, market opens like this. Okay, we might be heading up slightly and then do something like that. So we have one of two options. wait for the weekly candle closing, and then trade the weekly candle closing by marking, you know, the closing price, the opening price, and then the next coming week we'll be doing something like that. That's option number one. What I am watching is a potential intra-week opportunity. And by the way, if you don't see any pending orders, that was a pending order on Friday, that means it's canceled. All the pending orders that is valid for this coming week is marked with blue. If there is no blue in front of that pair, it's canceled. Okay, so this is the high of the previous week. Okay, so if something like this happens, okay, if something like this happens, then I will you know, consider entering that trade with a high stop loss, aiming to the downside. Okay, that is what I'm planning.
So that's the full framework: yearly for major structure, monthly and weekly for refinement, looking at key levels and using closing price, and really importantly, seeing who is in control. Super important. Then the 4-hour is our entry time frame. Hey, it's not flashy, it's not fast, but it's repeatable, and it has been a consistently profitable trading approach for many years, and that consistency is what separates gambling from structured trading. Inside Darko's alert service, this exact process is done for you in advance. Members don't guess, they don't chase, they follow a clear plan, including trade management, and Darko explains everything so that you understand what he is doing and why. You know, we receive a ton of testimonials, and I'll leave you with this one that we got just this week here. Let me have a look here. Thank you, Mr. Darko, for your powerful PMAs and the mindset shift you've given me in trading. They've truly changed how I see the markets and myself. I'm finally seeing blue trades where there used to be red, and that progress means everything to me. You're my #1 coach, and I'm grateful for the discipline and clarity that you've helped me build. Boy, I tell you, I just can't tell you what those kind of comments mean to us. We really appreciate them. So if you're tired of lower time frame noise and you want a structured, higher time frame approach, there's a link to our service in the text below this video or in the email that you received. And hey, if you're not ready yet, that's fine. We're gonna, just keep watching. We're gonna keep showing you exactly how this is done. I remember a question I saw once: when would now be a good time? So just something to consider. This isn't going away, and we'd love to have you join our community if that is in the cards for you. Thank you so much, everyone. Have a great weekend, and we will see you next week with another video. Thanks so much.